Hi everyone, it's Sunday, December 22nd, time for our last HideNet Week in Review for 2019. I'm Vera Dordick. For the U.S. market, it was yet another week of mainly steady prices with a few steer selections that actually saw better demand. Sellers didn't report a high volume of sales, which isn't really very good given that the previous week's export sales were less than stellar. With regard to regular weight heavy Texas steers, there were few sales, but prices were steady, and trading was reported at $28 on 66.68 pounds. With regard to the cow market, prices are firm with some improvements, even if they are only marginally better. In fact, sellers remain rather well positioned at this point, so they don't need to take less and they can hold out for steady or better. U.S. slaughter for the week was estimated to be 668,000. Just a little higher than last week's 662,000. Combined export sales for the week ending December 14th were just 484,700, and combined shipments were 547,000. In our observations this week, we have a guest editorial by Craig Rolson, who reflects on 2019, which he calls a memorable year to forget. Moving over to Europe, editor Andrea Guolo says that the tanneries are now closed for the holiday season and they won't be reopening until January 7th. It'll be a busy start to the year for the Italians because that week is also Pitti Uomo in Florence. With regard to prices in Europe, there were some changes last week. Looking at English 36 plus ox, this was one selection that saw no significant changes, and the best lots were still selling at 78 pence per kilo, which is now considered the reference price still. In Ireland, the better selections are being sold for 80 cents in euros. With regard to cows, Andrea says a number of origins saw increases last week, with some earning as much as 10 to 15 cents more per kilo. In the bull sector also, the main origins maintained steady prices, and there were a number that saw sales levels increase by about 5 cents. In his analysis this week, Andrea takes a look at the current state of prices, as well as what types of hides and skins have gone up recently. He also has an overall assessment of 2019, which he says was really a bad year, in essence. From South America, editor Ronald Guiel reports from Brazil that even though raw hide prices are under pressure, fresh hides remained unchanged at 57 cents in reals. Of course, due to the exchange rate, it is just 13 cents in US dollar terms. Thanks to the end of the year slowdown, the price of TR1 also remains firm, and it's selling at 55 US cents per square foot. In other news from Brazil, we have the assessment of 2019's footwear sector from Aba Calçados, as well as the group's projections for the coming year. From elsewhere in Latin America, Argentina's government increased the tax on meat, which is likely going to affect Minerva. Colombia's Quiros Vélez is expanding to Spain, and Mexico released data on its industrial activity, which was down except for leather, which was actually up. So that's all we have for today. The editors and staff at HideNet wish you a happy holiday and a healthy and prosperous new year. And until we see you again in 2020 on January 12th, good night.